Of this my channel, I'm a bit protective, so once again I will fulfill this directive. This episode reviews made for adult eyes, not directed at children, so do not criticize.
Happy holidays, everyone. How do you do? Welcome to another Beast Morphers episode review. Now, just through 2 lines, I hear some of you groaning. Another rhyming review, I hear you moaning. I know that these rhymes will cause some of you pain, so please settle down, heroes, and let me explain. I can quite assure you this wasn't my plan. I wanted a normal review tossed in the can. But when it came time to give this one its due, I realized a normal review would not do. People who play hockey like to pass pucks, and I'm sorry for spoiling, but this episode sucks. Since recapping its failures is creative drain, I had to do something to excite my brain. I thought about writing a holiday song, but I worried about singing, and it might be too long. So instead I go back to a classical theme. 'Twas the night before Christmas and its rhyming scheme. But if hearing me rhyme is a kick in the crotch, I gladly invite you to simply not watch. But if you want to hear me twist my brain, come up with rhymes, and maybe go insane, take a seat by the fire and get all comfy and listen to what Scrozzle's revenge means to me. Things start in the lab. What are the bots making? It's Christmas cookies those robos are baking. They burn them a bit, but they're not discouraged. Christmas with the Rangers has them feeling encouraged. Speaking of those 4, the Rangers enter. They take a whiff of the cookies, but they have smelled better. The bots are excited for a Christmas shared, but unfortunately, their feelings are not spared. Nate speaks to his brother to start this ordeal, having to say, "Well, I'm real sorry, Steel. We've lost track of Scrozzle. With you, I can't dab. I'll have to spend this Christmas here in the lab." The other 3 Rangers are forced to agree. They're spending Christmas with dear family. The Beastbots are saddened. They really could weep. But then Robbie's communicator gives off a beep. There is a deep voice and bells going clangers, asking if this would be the Power Rangers. The Rangers do panic after dropping the bummer and say that the voice is their new Zord's dear plumber? And now this is a fault about which we did know, but it's time to make this episode a clip show. The Beastbots are happy for the Rangers' plans and talk about their families, both woman's and man's. They start with Zoe's mom, the reporter, and how her story led to a big X-Bike order. Jax remembers how Mrs. Reeves nearly revealed the Rangers' identities. That was a big deal. Talk moves to Devin's dad, the mayor, and how he once hit Devin with a water sprayer. He was mad when Devin got himself fired, till he learned he was a Ranger, then he was inspired. Onward to Robbie and his mom, the commander, and how Robbie got her in a big dander, disobeying an order and destroying Roxy, but losing transporters, which dampened his moxie. The bots are happy that the Rangers will spend Christmas with those who love them in the end. But turn off the pressure on this clip show nozzle. There's trouble in town, and guess what? It's Scrozzle. The Rangers arrive, the situation's dire because everything around them seems to be on fire. But who can they blame this situation on? Scrozzle's made a robo, so meet Infernotron. But Scrozzle isn't just sitting there on the shelf, he's over there decorating a tree himself. Nate and Steel will go put that one in a haze, while the other 3 Rangers go deal with the blaze. Nate and Steel arrive with a greeting, but Nate's time as a Ranger right now is quite fleeting. Scrozzle zaps him with a Christmas tree cane, and a Christmas ornament is what Nate became. Scrozzle tries it on Steel, but fast as a clock, he pulls out his sword and the beams he does block. It runs out of fuel, making Scrozzle go tisk, so he goes to refill it, calling on Tronics. Of Infernotron, the Rangers do make quick work, which is good because he was burning cars, that jerk. Steel calls the Rangers and bids them make haste. Nate's now in danger, there's no time to waste. The Rangers run over and tell Scrozzle back off, but instead he pulls the gun out with a scoff. He zaps Zoe and Devin, and now they are spent. They go up on the tree as 2 new ornaments. Scrozzle retreats, no sign of his case, and Robbie and Steele take the tree back to base. Steele says he's an expert, but guess what? He's not. Robbie zapped on the tree, and we're down to just bots. Nate encourages Steele. They can figure this out, and in himself he should not feel any doubt. When he was impersonated, the computer was fried, but they fixed it up quickly like they barely tried. They get a call from their stalwart commander, and this'll put their nerves on the sander. Scrozzle has sent out a giga-drone. They have to go fight it, but wait, hold the phone. The Rangers are stuck on the Christmas tree. Someone has to go fight it, but who will that be? Steele has to work on the Zappy McClanger, so the other 3 Beast Bots will go face the danger. They're unsure if they can pull this off alone, a lack of confidence for which they will atone. The Rangers show them clips that get them inspired. They're ready to say, Infernotron, you're fired. The bots head out in their fleet of big Zords, which is really good because I was getting quite bored. But this Giga-Drone is a special point of pride for that old robot Scrozzle is seated inside? Giga-drones don't usually have pilots, you see, though I suppose it is a possibility. Not a topic on which I will spend too much spit, because then MPG will go, "Get on with it!" After a few bites from Cruz's Zord Cheetah, Scrozzle makes his Zord into a small fleeta. Deploying Gigatronics to even the score, there was just one bad robot, now there are more. Smash and Jax both act as good sport, not fighting the baddies, but providing support. Cruz takes on all 3, Smash loads up the cars, and Jax leads everyone to the bars! Perhaps the last bill for this one was refused. Cruz destroys the big grunts in footage reused. Scrozzle tries to burn his way through a tower, but at this point we've almost hit the half hour. Cruz leaps to the sky and is bathed in hot flame, but he finds Scrozzle's attempts to live pretty lame. He activates Racer Zord's Cheetah Strike, and now even dear Scrozzle is taking a hike. Back in the lab, the Rangers get free from being ornaments on the Christmas tree. No time like the present, the Rangers surmise, to reveal to the Beast Bots their Christmas surprise. Spending time with the family was a Christmas trick. Turns out they're all gonna go see St. Nick. In walks Fresno Santa to give them the news, and the bots quickly lose their holiday blues. That's the end of the story, you heroes of mine, and as you all sit near trees made of pine, I have opinions on this one. I have them in spades, so I'll share them with you as I throw some shades. Episode 22, Scrozzle's Revenge. Pros, the Beast Bots characters avenged. Infernotron rocked, though his life was cut short, and Fresno Bob Santa is a really good sport. Cons, this clip show was boring and stale and not fun. The Zords are rebuilt, that process just done? And for a villain that's been so entertaining, having such a simple end for Scrozzle is really paining. This is rare for a season that has felt so anointed, but my feeling after this one was just disappointed! So while some of you may think that this is a jive, Scrozzle's Revenge gets 1 shade out of 5. For characters established as important to expound, the Beast Bots have mostly hid in the background. It was nice to see an episode focused on them all, not just Steele the Ranger hogging the big hall. For a clip show, a monster is usually chosen from footage that would otherwise just stay frozen, but Infernotron, for the short time he was alive, was a monster that was really quite hip and jive. It sprayed purple fire, an arsonist fiend. The damage it caused was not something screened. It inspired the Rangers to answer the call. To beating this monster, they did give their all. And though his appearance here really was wasted, it's nice to have Fresno Santa on screen tasted. It's nice seeing this actor as the Santa Claus, and it's a tradition that I never want paused. We're done with the good, through which I was rushing, because it's the bad of this episode that really has me gushing. Now it's time for the cons, and it's all relative, but let's talk about the things that were negative. Hypnotic Halloween was pretty okay, and I like clip shows to be done in that way. The clips had a purpose to help them remember. But what we got in October, we lacked in December. As outside your window it perhaps snows, they told clips about things everyone knows. The clips left me feeling very far from elated, as even from last week some things were related. The writing was clumsy and stilted, no probation. This episode felt written just from obligation. I really hope some of you aren't feeling baited, but I think even the actors this material hated. The Zords are just back? What sense does that make? How long does making these war machines take? I had hoped that suspense would last until next season. Against this story, the writers have done treason. Scrozzle was really the star of this show, but his plan felt half-baked and unfinished, you know? I don't know if this city sits out on an isthmus, but Scrozzle just did this stuff because it's Christmas. But seeing him again, many of us ahoyed! Until the end, when he's quickly destroyed. His ending left me feeling sad and quite bored. Was he driving a Gigadrone or a Zord? But alas, for Christmas, this is what we have gotten, and this episode is best just quickly forgotten. Beast Morphers is a season over which I still drool, and this was the exception rather than the rule. Now the season is over, mostly praised, not derided, but I have to tell you that I'm still not quite decided on doing a video to recap Season 1. Maybe I just feel that the story's not quite done? Should I save the recap for after Season 2? I kind of feel like that's something I should do, but if you disagree, leave a comment below, and maybe I'll change my mind for the show. But regardless, my friends, it is time to inform you of the shape the off-season will take form. I could do some top 10s and go chasing those views, but away from my philosophy that tactic skews. There's some unfinished business that needs my attention, and that's what informs this off-season's direction. So as we go forward, make sure you take your pills as we get back to the Sentinels from Beverly Hills. Yes, it's time to return to reviewing the scenes presented by that group of brash tattooed teens. Picking up where we left off, let's take a peek at episode 13 called Trust Here Real Quick. Yo dudes, I'm back! Time to tell you all about... What? Seriously, even me? Oh, fine. 3 of the Sentinels do get to see bits of Drew's life read from her diary. Emperor Gorganis wants to cause some big fires by sending Voldek to cut electrical wires. I am not doing that stuff next week. So heroes, that wraps up not just this review, but the first season of Beast Morphers. That you all knew. It has been a good one, and I'll likely tap my memories and give you folks a recap. And listen, my brain is not an empty void. I know that some of you are very annoyed that you have spent some of your valuable time listening to 8 pages all written in rhyme. I'm hoping that not many of you revolt. I only do this when my mind needs a jolt. It's the holidays, and a good season is done. So I hope with this video you all had some fun. In the comments below, please tell me why you loved this episode or it instead made you cry. Same for my review. Opinions are bayed. You are also capable of throwing shades. While you find yourself down there saying, "What's up?" do me a favor and toss me a thumbs up. If the posting of videos you want to know, make sure you're subscribed and notifications will show. If you'd like to show some financial support and offer more than just witty retorts, you can head over to patreon.com, search OrangeRangerVideos, and support with aplomb. If monthly isn't your thing, don't you fear, ko-fi.com, and you will see here, you can buy me a coffee. Delicious imaginarily. They're set to $3, that's just necessarily. If you don't have funds to spare, don't you cry. Just share my videos and liking them why. That's a holiday gift that I will not refuse. Publicity is also a thing I can use. Well, I think I'm done rhyming. My thinker is tired. My creative energy nearly expired. So happy holidays, everyone. That is your due. And until next time, may the power protect you. Happy holidays. Things start in the lab. What are those bots making? It's Christmas cookies that those... He was real mad when Devin got himself fired, till he learned he's a ranger, then he felt the Scrozzle tries it on steel, but fast as a clock. Scrozzle tries it on steel, but fast as a clock, he pulls out his sword and his beams these. Scrozzle tries it on steel, but fast as a clock, he pulls out his sword and his beams he does block. His beams. The beams. I really hope some of you do not feel baited, but I think this material, even the actors hate it. No. But if you disagree, leave a comment below. Maybe I'll change my mind and I'll do a show. Nope. It has been a good one, and I'll likely tap my memories and give you folks a nice... Wow. But if monthly isn't your thing, don't you fear. Head to coffee.com. If monthly isn't your thing, don't you fear. KO-I... farts. Delicious imaginarily. They're set to $3. That's just necessarily.